So it is our great fortune to have Gauranga Darshan Prabhuji with us. So most of us are familiar with Prabhuji because of his books like Subodhini series and also Ratnamala. And also my daughter also knows Prabhuji because of Bhagavatam tales. So I will give a brief intro about Prabhuji. So Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami. He's an educator and author of over 30 books. He's the Dean of Bhaktivedanta Vidyapit at ISKCON Govardhan Eco Village. He regularly conducts online and residential spiritual courses for children, teens, and adults, and has delivered over 7,000 plus hours of spiritual discourses in different forums, including ashrams, schools, colleges, corporate events, platforms like TEDx, Rotary Club, DRDO, etc. So he's a member of the ISKCON Board of Examiners and the GEV Administrative Council and oversees the temple worship and Vrindavan forest at GEV. So Prabhuji is a very definition of success actually, which is his talk, title of the talk. So he's excellent in both his professional as well as monk life, as well as an author. So he has done masters from Indian Institute of Science, and there he has published 10 technical papers in the area of language and speech processing. And also he has then worked in TCS Innovations Lab and Force Motor for 2 years before he joined as a monk at ISKCON Chowpatty. And then he moved to Govardhan Eco Village, where he has been involved in various areas like media, web design, content writing. Okay. Okay. So it's clear that and mostly he's famous as an author. So all his Subodhini series, like he has Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and all Bhakti scriptures. He has Subodhini series, which is a very like when we read Bhakti Shastri, we follow his books only. And Ratnamala also, which is he's very famous for that, and also children's book. So just to say how much successful Prabhuji is, like I also have done masters from ISC, but when I graduated, I had 0 paper. Prabhuji has 10 papers. So even during my PhD, I could not publish 10 papers. So this is his success. And in monkhood, the success is like, I have hardly read 2 volumes of Bhagavatam and he's writing summaries for all the books. So how many times he would have written? So, I mean, in terms of success, Prabhuji is 1,000 times successful than me. Okay, so this is very appropriate that he's talking about successful.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. You can give that to me. Testing mic.
Hare Krishna.
This is better. Sharp. Hare Krishna. Am I audible? Am I audible? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Very happy and grateful to be amongst all the young, talented members of the IIT Chennai. You call Chennai or Madras? When I saw in the poster IIT M, is it IIT Mumbai? I was feeling like that. M is Madras only. You still call it Madras. Okay, good. Anyways, thank you so much for having me with all of you. I hope I'm audible. Am I loud enough? Okay. You can increase. So today, in the next 1 hour or so, we'll try to meditate on a very relevant and important topic on success. I feel a little bored there alone. I can come and move amongst all of you also, one amongst you. So, uh, when I was in college at your age, doing my BTech or Masters, somehow we didn't have so many such events where some monks are coming and giving classes. So I never saw someone in saffron robes in my college when I was at your age. But it's important that we learn some spiritual secrets, spiritual truths, philosophical truths, especially at this age. When we are kids, we are too innocent. We can't understand so much. Of course, that's also a good age to start spirituality, but there's innocence is predominant at that age. When you enter middle age, then you already have certain experiences in life. You have had certain realizations, and you have a lot of responsibilities to attend to, a lot of load on your head. So it's a bit difficult in middle age to take out time for spirituality or start a new process of spirituality. But teenage or your youthhood is a very appropriate time where you take up to spirituality, where you have necessary intelligence to understand spiritual truths, and you also have some time at your disposal, apart from your college assignments and all. You have some little time at your disposal, and you also have enthusiasm and exploring tendencies, right? When you're satiated with life's experiences, you don't feel like learning something new. As they often say, you can't teach new tricks to old dogs, right? So now you have fresh enthusiasm, and you have a lot of intelligence and time and energy at your hand, so you can better utilize them to understand the path of spirituality. Okay, let's come to this topic, pursuing genuine success. Why I kept this word genuine there? Can success be not genuine also? And if you also participate in the discussion, that will give me also an opportunity to learn. I'm not here to teach, I'm here to learn also. So we should be eager to learn from anyone who is having a sensible realization and a lesson to teach us. So you can participate. I may ask some questions. You can share your understanding on this. So can success be not genuine also? Why there is genuine success? And what is your definition of success? First, let's begin there. What do you mean by success? Yes? Any answers? Huh?
To achieve set goal.
Yes, to attain goals is one success. Huh? Pursuing your dreams. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
You are at a state such that you are satisfied. Your mind is satisfied.
Wow, such an amazing definition of success. That which gives you satisfaction. That is success. Very good. Any other definitions? One more from this wing. Fulfilling desires. Yeah, someone said it. Desires, goals. According to dictionary, what is this? This is not moving. How do we do it? How to go to the next slide? We should do it here. You're losing time. Okay, fine. I'll speak. So, according to dictionary, success basically means pursuing your goals and attaining your goals. Fine. That's considered success. But there are certain compromises that we do while pursuing our success. For example, to publish a paper in your 4th year could be your goal, right? Based on my research project, master's project, I should be able to publish a paper. That may be your goal. And you happen to publish that paper in a conference or journal, that's even more prestigious. So while pursuing this goal of publishing a paper or completing your thesis, what could be some common compromises that you might do? Can anyone say? So sometimes we compromise on some things while pursuing our goals. So what could be those compromises? Can anyone answer? Yes, sir. Yeah, we may not be able to spend quality time with family members. Oh, it's working? Okay. I took out mine. It's not working. Okay, Prabhu, I'll just remove your thing and put my thing. Fine. No need. So you have certain goals of facilities, wealth, having a good career, some followers, status, and the means to achieve these goals can be manpower, money, strategy, intelligence, planning, execution at the appropriate time. So you have certain goals and you have certain means to attain those goals. And once you attain those goals through these means, it is success. That's the general understanding of success. Okay. But using these means to attain these goals, you need to have the quality of determination. Okay. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that one-pointed focus or determination is required to attain success in any goal. Krishna says, Vyavasayatmika buddher ekeha kurunandana bahushakha hyanantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Krishna says one should have this vyavasayatmika buddhi. What do you mean by this? Vyavasaya means, anyone knows what is vyavasaya? Huh? Business, commerce. Okay. Any other definitions of vyavasaya? Huh? Agriculture. Yeah, that's the right answer. Okay. Farming, agriculture, vyavasaya. So how much endeavor, Krishna is very interestingly using this word vyavasayatmika buddhi here. How much endeavor a farmer has to put to cultivate a crop? He has to till the land, he has to sow the seeds, he has to supply water and fertilizers, he has to raise mud banks on all 4 sides of the crop, of the field, to retain water inside. He has to pluck out weeds. Time to time, he has to safeguard this entire field from some wild pigs or rats or birds that may catch the grain. So much endeavor. How many of your children are farmers? How many of your parents belong to farming community? Amazing. So in recent, in a college in Hassan, Karnataka, when I was giving a class, I asked the same question. How many of your parents are farmers? 90% raised their hands. 90%. Here also you have some significant percent. Anyways, so vyavasayatmika buddhi means a farmer has to focus. A farmer has to exhibit great amount of determination to raise the crop and feed all of us the grains or vegetables, whatever it is. Okay. Similarly, for you to attain your goals, you need to focus on your goal. So it seems that this phase is very non-spicy and this phase is very colorful. Okay. But this person is focusing on one thing, one-pointed focus. But this person is focusing on 10 things at a time or 5 things at a time. So although it seems attractive to do so many things simultaneously out of our passion, Rajogun, actually focusing on one thing is Sattvagun, means mode of goodness. Therefore, we need to focus on our goals. When there is one-pointed focus, without any distractions, then we can achieve success in our endeavors, right? So if we are not determined for anything, we are distracted by everything. Do you agree with this? If you don't have focus on one thing, you will be distracted by everything, tangents. For example, you are having a meeting, conversation, how to successfully execute your project, right? Everybody should speak about the project, right? There should be a focused discussion. If there is no focus in the discussion, and people are passing comments and then getting conversations which are tangential, going away from your main theme, main agenda of the meeting, then you will end up wasting time. So therefore, focus is important. So now in this context, let me give a side point, not going as a tangent, but side point. So focus on one thing means you should focus only on one thing. Is multitasking bad? Huh? Is multitasking bad? How many of you say that multitasking is bad? It's not, we should not do multitasking. 1, 2. Only 2 people. 4. Everyone else agree that multitasking is good, right? How many of you say multitasking is good? That's amazing. Then you're going against Gita Shloka, right? Vyavasayatmaka buddhi and many branches. Bahushaka hi anantascha. Now please justify your answer. You said multitasking is okay, good, bona fide. So now you justify your answer. Yes, sir.
You are able to do productive like multitask. At one time, all your energy to one work. There may be other important work that can do a big well-being of other, like a larger circle. You, instead of spending all your energy in one thing, you spend little energy in different other things.
Okay.
Suppose
I'm speaking simultaneously working on multiple things.
yes,
You can have 5 subjects. Instead of, you can't just quote one Vyavasayatmaka buddhi in one semester, we'll study only one subject, not 5 subjects. I'm not speaking about that. At one point of time, should you focus on one thing only, or you should do multiple things? For example, you are sitting in this class. Your focus should be this class, or you can also check WhatsApp messages, you can make some calls, you can eat some food, and you can do multiple things. That's what I'm asking. Huh? Okay, fine. As long as you are being successful in doing 10 things simultaneously, you can do, right? Very good. Any other justifications? Most of you are in favor of multitasking. Anyone else? One more explanation I want. How is multitasking justified? Who raised your hands? I think practically 80% of this class, except 4 people. Huh? Saving time. Okay, good. So what Krishna said is wrong here. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Bahushaka hi anantascha. Buddhayo avyavasayanam. So what Krishna said is not wrong. And what you said is also not wrong. So what this boy said is correct. But star conditions apply. Okay. What are the conditions? The conditions are there should be compatibility between the tasks that you're handling. Have you ever had chiku milkshake? Mango milkshake? That's good. Have you ever had lemon milkshake? Why? If you can have mango milkshake, why can't you have lemon milkshake? Huh? You cannot mix them together. Similarly, you can do 2 tasks simultaneously if there is compatibility. So one way of interpreting this shloka is, I should eat mango separate, I should drink milk separate. You can do that. You can mix and have mango milkshake also, okay? But if there is an incompatibility between the 2 tasks that you are performing, better do them separately, right? Morning you have nimbu sharbat, evening you can have milk, okay? You cannot mix both together, right? So multitasking is good. It's a very effective way of functioning, and it is definitely very beneficial for you to be very productive and efficient, undoubtedly. But you should ensure that there is compatibility between tasks. Okay, the tasks should help each other, complement each other. They should not conflict each other. Okay, so that's important. When you're having a nice conversation with your friend, if you're constantly checking your mobile and attending calls and SMSs, the person who came to spend time with you will get bored. You should give the necessary time unless there is an emergency, right? So just make sure that the tasks are compatible. Let's come back to our original theme. We discussed that success requires focus. Okay, you agreed till this point. Now, some of the obstacles, some of the common compromises that we make in attaining success are health, peace. So you want to publish a paper, day and night you are working on that paper, you are writing your paper, you are revising it, proofreading it, editing it, adding some more things, deleting some more things. You are working so hard. But in that, you must do late night. How many of you have done night out in your assignments? I have done in my college, right? So doing some night out, getting up late in the morning, your health is going for a task sometimes. Then now you may not realize when you are in teens or early 20s. Once you enter 30s or 40s or 50s, then you will understand the impact of having irregular schedules. Okay. Anyways, so you may lose your mental peace sometimes. You may lose certain joys. You may compromise on relationships. So when you are pursuing success, you should not compromise on these basic things. Some emergency once in a while is fine. But on a regular basis, if you are compromising on your health, compromising on relationships and joy and peace, then the success, is it really success? That's a question. Next, one more thing. What are some undesirable outcomes of success? The desirable outcomes of success are happiness, a sense of achievement, accomplishment, name, fame, prestige, etc. What are some undesirable effects of success? Enmity, okay. Fear. How is fear an outcome of success? Just a minute, let him speak. Ego, okay. When you become successful, you can become egoistic, right? Okay, yes, sir.
Like fear, sir, like when you are successful, you have achieved the position. Now you have the fear that you don't lose that. Then other problems.
You are so focused on maintaining your status quo, you may fear that you may lose it. Good point. Anything else? Any undesirable outcomes of success? Yes, sir. Huh? Frustration. How can success make you frustrated? Huh? Oh, failure makes you frustrated, not success. Someone else said something here. Greed. Yes, greed. So you become greedy for more and more success. I published only one paper. I should have 2 papers, 3 papers, 4 papers. Okay, I only published conference papers. I want journal papers now. Yes, sir. Correct. That's another important angle of looking at it. So for getting little success, you compromised so much. There is one shloka in Bhagavatam like this. Soham brunam kshulla sukhaya dukkham matgatana viramaya tasya. So some people undergo tremendous amount of distress to get meager amount of happiness. Okay. Anyways, some undesirable outcomes are stress. You feel stressed out sometimes? Working on your assignments? Greed, someone said it. Yeah. Pride, someone said it there. Envy, someone else said here. Okay. So sometimes in our pursuits for success, we lose focus on what truly matters. There's a story. There's one little lady who got a parrot and kept that parrot in a very nice golden cage. And every day she's polishing that cage so nicely, but forgetting to feed the parrot. Similarly, in our life also, we may want to achieve success in so many endeavors. We are running behind so many material accomplishments and achievements and some feathers on the cap. But we may forget to feed the soul, right? While gaining so many feathers on your cap, please ensure that you don't get buried under your cap, right? When you're putting feathers on the cap, they're meant to decorate the cap, not meant to make the cap so heavy that you cannot handle it. You are buried under the cap, right? Sometimes in our pursuits, greedy pursuits to attain so much success and accomplish so much, achieve so many things, we compromise on what truly matters to us. It could be physical health, it could be mental peace, it could be spiritual upliftment, right? We compromise on this. So better we don't compromise on essentials, right? Be balanced. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. We need to be regulated and balanced in our eating habits, sleeping habits, working habits, and entertainment habits. Okay, there should be balance. Too much of entertainment, too much of recreation at the cost of compromise and work, it's not good. Too much sleep at the compromise of the compromise of other important things, that's also not good. And too less sleep, too less eating will make you weak. Therefore, we should achieve things. We should work towards our goals, but not compromising on what truly matters to us. Okay. Now, let me tell you one small story. Here is a person who is always used to elevators, lifts, and staircases, but he's not accustomed to climbing on ladder. Okay. So one day there was a situation where this person has to climb on ladder. Elevator was not working, staircase was broken. So he had to climb on the ladder to go to the top floor. There were 50 steps on the ladder. And this guy was hesitant initially. He somehow managed to climb 2-3 steps. Then he just fell down from there and he managed to balance himself. Okay, he did not fall down. Then someone encouraged him. No, no, don't worry. You can climb. We can climb. So it's not that bad. It's not that difficult. So somehow he managed to climb 5 steps. He gained little confidence. He thought, I think I can also do it. Then he managed to go to 10th step. He became even more confident. Wow, great. 10th step, he had confidence. 15th step, that confidence became overconfidence. And 20th step, that overconfidence became pride. At the 25th step, that pride became inattentiveness. Okay. He became inattentive. I think I can effortlessly do it. So he went to the 25th step and he was like very recklessly and then moving to the later steps. Because he became inattentive there, he fell down from there. When he fell from the 2nd or 3rd step, he could balance himself. When he fell down from the 25th step, he broke his head. Okay. So why did I say this story? When we are going to greater heights in life, we should not compromise on our values. Okay. You may become successful in your life, either by publishing papers or writing theses or getting very good placements in great companies like Google or Intel or Apple or whatever it may be, or you may become YouTuber. Nowadays, new professions are coming up. YouTuber, social media influencer, life coach. They did not even begin life, they want to become life coach first, right? So new professions are coming out. Anyways, you become successful in that, but once you reach great heights in your career or in your life, if you compromise on poor values. Nowadays, people want followers on the social media. Okay. So if they're genuinely posting some content and genuinely getting some views or followers or likes or shares, etc., that's fine. But sometimes people may take to artificial means to increase their view count, follower count, right? They may pay some money and then get more followers. Okay. They're all virtual. They're all just fake accounts only. There's no reality there. Okay. So sometimes in our attempt or in our greed to reach greater heights in life, we may compromise on values. Okay. Or you may not compromise on certain ethics and values or morals, but sometimes we may even become proud of our great heights. At such stage, when you become very proud or arrogant of your success, one thing that happens is you lose gratitude. You lose gratitude towards people who helped you attain that success. You become successful in your life, but you cannot become successful alone. Your parents are paying your fees. Your teachers, professors, and lecturers are teaching you. Sometimes your friends also assist you in learning things. So if you are not grateful to those people who helped you attain this great height, then is that success really success? If you compromise on your health, compromise on values, you are not grateful to people. And another thing is, you become arrogant so much that you start looking down upon people who are not as successful as you. Arey, I am here today. You are still there only. I read 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. You are still in the first chapter. First sloka, Dhritarashtra Vacha, how long you will read that? Come up, grow up, right? So even in spiritual circles also there could be pride, there could be arrogance. When you look down upon people who are not as successful as you, if you discourage them, demean them, disrespect them, oppress them, suppress them, are you really a successful person? Right? A really successful person helps other people also to attain success. But a successful person who is very insecure by nature, who is very arrogant by nature, who is very poor in his values, he tries to oppress people, suppress people, demean people, dominate people, right? So that kind of success is not really success. If I'm not grateful to those people who helped me attain success, if I look down upon people who are not as successful as me, my success is actually a failure. But if I fail in my endeavors, and if I learn a lesson that this failure is teaching me, if I regret for my mistakes that caused the failure, if I try not to repeat the mistakes, and if I genuinely repent for the mistakes and try to rectify the mistakes instead of justifying the mistakes, then that failure is also a success. You got it? Right? When you learn a lesson from failure, your failure is success. Next time you'll be more careful. But when you become arrogant because of success, that success is actually failure. Agreed? Huh? Next, let's move ahead. So when we are reaching greater heights, there could be confidence, but that confidence should not become overconfidence. Confidence unlocks success and overconfidence locks it. Right? We cannot move ahead. We can degrade only. Overconfidence will degrade. It will not take you forward. Confidence can take you forward. So intelligence or wisdom or maturity is in differentiating between what is confidence and what is overconfidence. Okay. So confidence is a positive quality, overconfidence is a negative quality, right? So we should not compromise on these core values. Then only we are really successful. That's why I said genuine success. Some people become prisoners of success so much. They are so attached to their success that they cannot associate with people who are not as successful as them. So they feel very lonely there. They reach greater heights, they become very wealthy or beautiful or accomplished in their life, and there's no friends around them, no relationships, no spiritual taste. They become prisoners of their own success, right? They cannot enter public gatherings. Now, someone said ego. You said ego? He said ego, yeah. So success also makes one egoistic. So life is like a trampoline. You know trampoline? Small kids play, right? So there's some kind of rubber mat kind of thing. They just jump up and down like this. Okay. So the more they push that mat down, the higher they go. Compare that mat with ego. Life is like a trampoline. The more you push down your ego, the greater you high, the higher you fly, right? So how much height you will reach depends on how hardly you are pushing it. If you hardly push anything like this, you will stay there only, right? So push the ego down, let the humility grow up. But people think that when I'm successful means I need to show some prestige. I need to be egoistic. I need to maintain some level, right? So that is not success, right? Real successful person is one who is humble, right? Humility is a measure for success. If you're really successful, then you are very humble. So that humility is reflected in your gratitude. So you humbly acknowledge everyone who helped you. My parents helped me, my teachers helped me, my friends helped me, my brothers helped me, my sisters helped me. So many people are helping me. So let me be grateful to them. That gratitude and humility are inseparable. But when you are arrogant and proud, you don't acknowledge people who contributed for your success. You become very greedy to take all the credit for your success. Right? So that kind of pride will take birth. Now, there's much more we can elaborate. I think this is not very much relevant for you, but still you can understand when it may become relevant. Many times, parents are in pursuit for their success, for greater heights in their profession and career. They neglect their children. They give toys to the kids and they focus on their careers or whatever other things. So what does a child need from parents? Toys or time? Uh, Now, a child may be struggling to solve an addition problem. Okay. So far, the teacher has given 5 plus 3. 5 fingers here, 3 fingers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The child could solve the problem. One day, teacher has given a bigger problem. 5 plus 8. 5 fingers are here. The child is unable to find 8 more fingers here. Child is confused, right? Now, the father can give a calculator to the child, and the father can teach, oh, you don't have enough fingers on your hands, take some fingers from your legs. Okay. So that little intervention from father's side will actually not only make the child grow in his or her intelligence, but also develops a bonding between the father and the child, right? So relationships are based on these small, small gestures that we do, right? Small, small help that we contribute. You may say it's a stupid problem. You just take a calculator and do the needful. Then after some time, the child, the teacher will give a addition problem where the result crosses beyond 20. The child doesn't have 20 fingers, right? The child doesn't have more than 20 fingers. The child may start borrowing fingers from other kids or other members in the family. But there are other techniques that the parents can teach. So like that, it's investment of time is required to bring up a child, right? All of you have undergone it. You must have forgotten it now, but parents have invested. So for that, they may have to compromise on their so-called success of growing in career, right? But what is the point of growing in their career at the compromise of disappointment of the child? Okay, so this is one thing. Now, my guru, His Holiness Radhana Swami said once, you can find out how rich you are by counting all the things that you have that money cannot buy. Okay. If you have some things which money cannot buy, you are really rich, and that is really success. Okay. If you are mature, if you are wise in adapting yourself to the circumstances to deal with life's problems, then you are successful. Right? You may have big degrees and so many papers and this and that, but if you cannot solve a small day-to-day problem or relationship issue, then where is, if you don't have enough maturity to solve the day-to-day problem, where is success? Maturity is not a product that is available in market, right? Did you ever order any amount of maturity from Amazon, Flipkart, Chroma, right? So Amazon is selling 10 packets of maturity, right, for 1,000 rupees. Discount, Amazon deal, discount, not 1,800 rupees में मिल जाएगा maturity. It doesn't work. Maturity is not a product of your intellectual gymnastics or your external wealth that you have. Maturity is a product of learning from experienced people and learning from wisdom books like Bhagavad Gita and trying to put all those principles that you have learned from wisdom books and wise people into practice. Then you gain maturity, right? So with that maturity, you can deal with life's problems in a very, very effective manner. That is real success, right? So I have learned one important lesson from my mother when I was in 4th grade. One day, when I was in 4th grade, that day was Sunday and I didn't have much school work. So whole day I was playing. So by the end of the day, I became so dirty naturally. So my mother came out of the home. I was on the streets with other kids playing. Some kids were coming into the play and then going, but I was constantly there. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Whole day I was playing. Then my mother called me. I understood why she called me. Okay, she's going to give me good blessings now for my attire, for my shabby attire. She called me and said, you should take a bath. I said, I know you will say this, but I don't have time to take bath now, I said. She said, you are so dirty. Are you not ashamed? Look at your friends. They are so fresh. They took bath. They are so fresh. are you not ashamed? You should take bath immediately. Then I said, yes, definitely. I felt a little uncomfortable looking at my friends because they're very fresh, but I have an idea. I can avoid taking bath, but I can look fresh. Give me some powder, I'll put on my face. I said that. Of course, after becoming brahmacharis, we don't put powders now. But in those days, childhood days, we used to put some Pond's powder on the face. I said, I'll put some powder on the face, I'll look fresh. Okay, I will look fresh in front of my friends. My mother became even more annoyed. She said, you idiot, if you put powder on your face, you will look fresh, but you are not fresh. Don't try to look fresh, become fresh. Don't try to appear clean to deceive people in front of you. Actually become clean. Similarly, don't try to impress people with your external accomplishments. Try to love people. Try to develop the necessary virtues and values and morals and qualities that really make people inspired, right? Don't run behind the external appeal of the powder on the face, okay, that make you look successful in the eyes of people, but actually become successful by becoming mature, by becoming wise, by taking to the path of spirituality, by developing the right kind of Vaishnava qualities, good qualities, morality, virtues. So that will make a person shine. You should have the art of tolerance, equanimity, satisfaction, gratitude, compassion, resilience. So that is real success. To develop these virtues is real success. But if we are just running behind the external markers, external parameters of success, like putting powder on the face, but actually not growing within, which is actually taking bath, okay, then we are missing some point. So don't focus on external appeal, focus on inner substance, okay. So roots are not visible, but the branches and flowers and fruits and leaves, they are visible. So if you just sprinkle some water on the leaves and twigs, but if you don't water the root, the plant will fade away. Similarly, if you're running behind only external parameters of success and not the inner substance, then we starve within. Many people have midlife crisis. Now you are in teens or whatever, early 20s, whatever. But some people, when they enter in late 30s or early 40s or maybe 50s, there's something called midlife crisis. They feel that, my God, I have been running behind this external parameter of success all the while. That has not given me satisfaction. Many times we are influenced by external factors. Because everybody is walking in this direction, I will also walk in this direction. So that is some unconsciously or consciously, we make choices under the influence of external parameters, instead of using our own common sense and wisdom and intelligence to evaluate whether it can truly give me happiness or not. In my childhood, when I was at your age, once I wore a pant that is shaded jeans. Okay, so on the legs there is some shades. Okay, it's not pure single color, so there are multiple shades. So my grandmother saw and said, "What is this? Don't you have good clothes? Why don't you wear good clothes?" From her perspective, I am wearing some ragged clothes. So nowadays people have some holes on the pant only. The more holes there are, the more fashionable they are. So now sometimes we may choose certain things based on the trend. Okay, you want to be trendy, be like that, okay, to some degree. But is the trend really giving you happiness? Sometimes we may follow certain traditions because someone has put a big tree here and they're putting haldi, kumkum, and then tying some ropes there and then worshipping. We follow the tradition. Sometimes we follow the tradition, sometimes we follow the trend. But just try to understand, is the tradition which is coming from ages, what is the substance behind it? And sometimes we follow the trend. So what is the substance in it? We should try to intelligently understand, wisely understand the substance of it. If it's really worth it, then we can explore it. Oftentimes, one thing that we underutilize is common sense. We all have common sense, but many times we underutilize it. How many people have underutilized common sense so far in life? I did. Okay. God has given us the greatest gift called common sense. But utilizing common sense to its full extent is very uncommon in this world. Right? Let's try to evaluate. Let's not blindly follow traditions. Let's not blindly follow trends. Let's focus on what truly matters to us, right? And that intelligence, that maturity, that boldness, that courage to follow what really matters to you comes from associating with wise people and studying wisdom books like Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, like that. Our sages have given great literature. Okay, let me just move ahead. I'm going to present 8 keys that really help you become truly successful, genuinely successful. The first one is self-awareness. While I drink water, you please give your understanding of what is self-awareness. What do you mean by self-awareness? What is the self-awareness? Yes.
To know yourself. To
Yes. Anything else? Yes, sir.
Like for me, it's like looking ourselves from some other perspective. Means out of body, we should look at ourselves. As a third person, we should look at ourselves.
Okay, very good. That's a wonderful way. Yes. Very good. We need to analyze our thought patterns, our intellectual patterns. Yeah, why is it happening? That's one self-awareness.
Becoming aware of what we are doing, becoming aware of our thoughts, for example.
Okay, something similar to what she said. Anything else? Knowing one's own strengths and weaknesses. This is very good. I'm underutilizing it now. Yes, anything else? Anyone else? Self-awareness. Okay. Before self-awareness, there should be self-preservation. And after self-awareness, there is self-realization. So let me elaborate on this first point. There are 2 purposes of our life. 2 purposes. Okay. What are the 2 purposes? First is self-preservation. Self-preservation means doing the needful to maintain your body. You're studying to make a good career, get good jobs, get good salary. To do what? To basically feed your body. Have nice home, a vehicle, and clothes, and whatever is required to maintain your body. For that, you are undergoing some education, okay? And in that, you may find some satisfaction. So our endeavors to protect ourselves, maintain ourselves is called self-preservation. Let me call it like that. In this self-preservation, the self is body, isn't it? Now I said about second purpose of life, that is self-realization. In that self-realization, self is not body, the soul. How many of you believe that existence of soul? How many of you believe that we are souls and not bodies? So that I don't have to convince you. In some colleges, I have to convince that we are different from the body. Now you are already convinced, my life is easy. Okay. So self-preservation is bodily maintenance. Self-realization is realizing one's spiritual identity as souls, as parts of God. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Mamaivaamsho jiva loke jiva bhutah sanatanaha. Mama eva amsho, all these living beings are my amshas. Right? Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, we are all parts of God. We are spiritual in nature. Right? So to realize our connection with God and to understand what are my activities in my relationship with Lord, that is self-realization. Right? Realize your spiritual identity different from the body and then act on that level. That is self-realization. For that, we need to have self-awareness. Right? So when you say self-awareness, being aware of the needs of your body and being aware of the needs of your soul. As a part of that, you start understanding, observing your pattern, thought patterns, your desires and all that. Looking at ourselves as a third person and then analyzing ourselves, as someone said. So all these are part of that self-awareness. But we have two kinds of selves. One is the body, second is the soul. Actually, soul is the self. Oftentimes we think body as the self. And that also does not mean that I understand myself as soul, I neglect my body. I'm not body, I'm not body. You are in the body. You are supposed to maintain the body. Although you are not the body, you have a responsibility towards the body. You have the responsibility towards all the bodily relatives, bodily belongings, right? You need to cover the body, you need to clean the body, you need to feed the body. When the body becomes sick, you need to give medicines to the body. Yes, you have a responsibility towards the body. So you need to do the needful. That is self-preservation. But if you're always focusing on bodily maintenance, bodily comforts, bodily conception, and identifying yourself only as body, then you're missing something. We are spirit souls. We have an existence beyond the body also. You may be 20-year-old. Before 20 years, you existed. You may live 100 years, means 80 more years. After 80 years also, you will continue to exist. What am I doing about that identity, right? So that self-awareness is important. Once you have this self-awareness in place, then your pursuits for success will be with this understanding of your actual identity as soul. Then all your endeavors will be channelized with that understanding. Then you can pursue genuine success. You can attain genuine success. But if at understanding level only, if you're understanding that you are body only and not the soul, what kind of genuine success can you attain? Right? So for you to attain success, first you need to have self-awareness. What will actually make me happy? We may think that this will make me happy because this has made that person happy. Somebody thinks that if I become a YouTube influencer, I'll become happy. That will give me satisfaction. That gives satisfaction to somebody else, but it may not be your cup of tea. Okay? It may not be matching you. Some people think that they become actor, they become very popular. I will also become actor. Oftentimes we make our choices and we develop desires being influenced by the external surroundings. But you understand, be aware of yourself. What do you need to be happy? Now, when you say self-preservation, that is different for different people. Okay. South Indian people may like idli dosa. North Indian people may like paratha with butter, with curd, with achar. Okay. And if a South Indian person manages to make a paratha, it will look like something else. Sometimes. Some are good cooks. Okay. And if North Indian person makes idli, my God, I ate. I am South Indian, but I ate that idli. So they made sambar, that's even terrible. What is this colorful water? Holi ke liye banaya kya? Right? I was really confused. Is this really sambar? Prabhu, sambar chahiye kya? Sambar kidhar hai? Sambar kidhar hai? I was telling that. Anyways, so what satisfies your body may not give satisfaction to someone else's body. Kar sakte, I'm not denying that no North Indian can make South Indian food, no South Indian can make North Indian food. I am saying there are some cases, okay, special cases. But the main point that I was trying to make was, in self-preservation there is variety. You are different from another person. What gives you satisfaction may not give satisfaction to other person. Okay, so in attempts for self-preservation, which is like one goal, okay, immediate goal, immediate purpose of life is self-preservation. Ultimate purpose of life is self-realization, right? So in pursuing your immediate purpose or immediate goal, or in becoming successful in attaining that immediate goal of self-preservation, you are unique. Others are different. Okay. As far as spiritual goal is concerned, ultimate goal of spirituality is concerned, that's common for everybody. Right? So the immediate purpose or immediate goal or self-preservation can be attained by some people through working as doctor or engineer or a plumber or a carpenter, or a builder, architect, a businessman. There are 100 different ways for self-preservation. That's your taste. But self-realization is common for everybody because it's an eternal thing. Because bodies are temporary, anything that is connected to the body is also temporary. All the goals that you set with body as the center are temporary. All the satisfaction that you get with body as the center is also temporary. But when it comes to spirit soul, all of us spirit souls, and we are eternal parts and parcels of Krishna. We are amshas of Krishna. Therefore, uh, the attempt for self-realization must be an eternal thing that should give us eternal happiness. Okay, so one is ultimate goal, second is immediate goal. So immediate goal will give you immediate happiness, which is self-preservation, which is different for different people. But ultimate goal means that which is common for everyone. Realizing oneself as a servant of God, child of God. So that's about self-awareness. Identify your nature and your needs. Okay, don't just follow everybody. Then second, which is a little connected to the first, is first have that quality of discernment, discretion. Okay. How much should I give importance to societal expectations and individual fulfillment? Society may expect us to dress in a certain way, think in a certain way, act in a certain way, speak in a certain way, right? Stylish speech, right? Accent. Okay. You have your South Indian accent or you have your North Indian accent. So fine. If it is natural for you to refine, you want to improve, okay, you can improve. But just to impress people, you can't just keep on, doing things or thinking about things just to impress people, right? So draw a line. How much should I satisfy the society? Yes, you have a responsibility towards society. There should be some expectations from the society on you. You can fulfill to some degree. But how much importance should I give to societal expectations while compromising on my individual fulfillment? That we need to really think about it. Then third, integrity. Pursuing genuine success also requires integrity. Say somebody got $100 by cheating someone, and someone earned $50 by honestly working hard. If you just compare the numbers, 150, which is greater? 100 is greater. But if we actually compare the ways in which people attain these figures, which is greater? 50 is greater. 50 is bigger. 50 is better, right? Because that gives him genuine satisfaction. I worked hard and I honestly, with integrity, I have earned $50. I'm happy with it. If you cheat people, beat people, loot people, and get $100 or $1,000 or $10 million, that will not actually satisfy the heart, right? If you're a genuine person. So you know what is integrity, right? What is integrity? Can anyone define integrity? What do you mean by integrity? Yes. Sticking to principles. Anything else? Other definitions of integrity? Yes. Even if some difficult times come, or even if there are some reversals in life, we stick to our values. Very good. Actually, many parents try to give their children wealth, land, home, car, facilities, iPads, iPhones, right? Which may be part of their care. But the real uh, property or the worthiest gift that parents can give children is integrity, legacy, right? Not compromising on one's core human values and virtues for short-term success is integrity. And that integrity really brings inner fulfillment. And that's a true legacy that we can leave behind for the next generation. Work with integrity. So that's the legacy that we can pass on to the next generation. Then fourth is resilience. What is this? We are tested 2 times in life. Okay. We are tested 2 times in life, many times, but I'm just highlighting 2 times now. First, when we become successful. Second, when we become failure. So what are we tested for when we become successful? You know, answer. Huh? We are tested for our humility in success. What are we tested for in our failures? Okay. Integrity, tolerance, correct? And patience, correct? That's also correct. We are all these are correct. We are tested for consistency in failure, one important test. Do we consistently continue to put our efforts despite failing? So when you fail in something, are you sufficiently inspired to explore it further or not? So that is another test. So we are tested for our consistency in failures. We are tested for our humility in success. So when we are able to maintain humility despite being successful, then that is real success. Okay. Now this mountain, this is the place where I live, Govardhan Eco Village. This is a mountain near our property, Kohos Mountain. So during the monsoon, torrents of rain pour down on the mountain, but the mountain doesn't move an inch. During winter, nobody is putting a sweater or shawl around the mountain. During summer, nobody puts an AC for the mountain. Mountain is drying and scorching sun. Similarly, in life also, we experience happiness and distress not only because of seasonal changes, because of so many emotional situations in life, isn't it? So when we are facing such situations, we should be rock steady like the mountain, right? When there is success, we should not become so proud and overconfident. We can be happy. That's not a problem. And when there is failure, we should not become so discouraged or demotivated or depressed or dysfunctional. We should learn and then move on. Just like this mountain. Mountain is very lush green during monsoon season. Nice waterfalls. And it's very clean. And mountain is very dry and dirty during summer season. But in both cases, mountain is steady. Similarly, life throws at us situations where sometimes we are very, we encounter happy moments, sometimes we encounter distressful moments. That's why Krishna says, this is the first lesson in Bhagavad Gita. Matra sparshastu kaunteya Sitoshna sukha dukkhadah Agamapayino nityah Tam stitikshasva bharata. So agama apayino, happiness and distress come and go. They are temporary. Tam stitikshasva bharata, therefore learn to tolerate them. This is the first lesson that Krishna gives. In this context, let me elaborate. Oh, it's 8:28. I'll finish in 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes max. So, what is the difference between tolerance and equanimity? You know what is equanimity, right? What's equanimity? Samatva. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Samatvam yoga uchyate. Yoga means equanimity. What do you mean by equanimity? Equal in happiness and distress, very good. Okay. What is tolerance? Remaining steady, stable, even in adverse circumstances. So what's the difference between tolerance and equanimity then? Very good. It's a good analysis. So I was coming from Mumbai this morning. On the way, there is a lot of traffic. On the way, I had to meet a devotee and then come to airport. There is traffic. Our driver said, I think you better cancel the meeting. We may miss the flight. I said, let's take risk. Okay. I have to meet. It's an important meeting. I could calculate the time. I said, we will reach. I saw Google Maps and all. Okay. So while I was traveling on the road, lot of traffic, big trucks, and the movement of the vehicle is very much restricted several times on the road because of other vehicles. Clear? Roadblocks. And there is some traffic signals. Red light, you have to stop. Green light, you can move ahead. Okay. So your movement of your car is restricted when there is a red light and when there are other roadblocks and traffic, other vehicles, right? But when you managed to come to airport, boarded the airplane, what did the airplane do? Airplane rose into the sky. Then I could see all the traffic there. All the big trucks and vehicles and pathways and roads are looking like small matchboxes, right? Now there is a red signal. When I look in from the flight window, there is a red signal. Huh, my flight will not stop even if there is a red signal. Green signal. That green signal is of no relevance to my flight. Okay. Big trucks, lot of traffic jam. Oh, this cannot move my flight's journey. Why? I'm in a different altitude. I'm in a different altitude, right? Now, when I'm traveling on the road in the car, the traffic signal, the red signal will stop me. I have to tolerate it with patience, right? That red signal is affecting me. That red signal is affecting me, but I tolerate it. Patience, I have no other way. Okay. I cannot go and say, hey, put the green signal now. I cannot say that. I cannot tell 10 trucks before me, you move aside. I cannot do that. I have to tolerate it. That is tolerance. Means you are getting affected by the happiness and distress. You are getting affected by red signal and green signal, but you learn to tolerate it. Okay. But equanimity means the red signal and green signal and the difference between the red and green signals are of no relevance to you because you're on a different plane. You raise yourself to a different plane. So when you're traveling in an airplane, the red signal and green signal, red signal of distress and green signal of happiness are of no relevance to you, right? Similarly, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sama dukkha sukham dhiram somrutattvaya kalpate. Sama means equanimity. So when you are able to tolerate happiness and distress, you can stay calm amidst chaos. But when you cultivate a higher quality of equanimity, you will be unaffected by happiness and distress, right? So you need to raise your intelligence or your consciousness to a spiritual plane of uh, equanimity. Samatvam yoga uchyate. From there, the dualities of material life will not affect you. They exist, but they don't affect you. But when you're in the road plane, they exist and they affect you, but you tolerate them. But if you rise to a higher plane, they exist, but they don't affect you. Clear? So you need to raise your consciousness to a higher level. That is called yoga. Yoga means connecting our consciousness with God by raising it to higher level. The higher we rise, the higher is our connection with God, and the more the situations in this world affect you, right? You become oblivious to the surroundings. You become unaffected by surroundings. So like this rock steady mountain, all seasonal changes will not affect the mountain. It's rock steady. During monsoon, so many rivers come into the ocean. And during summer, not many rivers come into the ocean. But the ocean is steady, very deep, very grave. We should be like that. All this happens by taking shelter of wisdom books like Bhagavad Gita and wise devotees, right? So gratitude, I already mentioned. Let me not spend so much time. This is a very important lesson, but I don't have time to cover it now. But I think we have discussed sufficient lessons on pursuing genuine success. So don't just run behind external parameters of success. Don't just be overly affected or influenced by people around you and their opinions. But please use your common sense. Please use God-given intelligence to discern between what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is auspicious, what is inauspicious, genuinely, and try to pursue success in that direction. And maintain a perfect balance, good balance between your pursuit for self-preservation and self-realization. In your pursuit for self-preservation, don't compromise on self-realization. And in pursuit for self-realization, don't neglect your body. Don't neglect self-preservation. Both are important. Both are equally important. You need to feed your body and you need to feed your soul. Okay. Eventually, you'll focus more on soul and bodily needs will be taken care of. Okay. Once you do some little work initially. Does it make sense? Any questions, comments, clarifications, confrontations? Yes.
I think Mahabharata was abandoned by was like hurt by his teacher. But still, why did he like take favor from position and why did he we see the bigger picture? Like he would have been successful if he would have taken the problems of his own class, like both the. So how would you define it?
We already discussed about it in the class. Common sense. Underutilization of common sense, right? He knows Duryodhan is on the side of adharma. Pandavas are more dharmic. But still, Karna was obsessed with a desire to compete with Arjun and outsmart Arjun, defeat Arjun. So, naturally, when you have such malicious intentions, when you define your success as defeating someone and not exactly looking at what satisfies you, then you will end up like Karna only. Right? Life situations are often not in our control, but our response is in our control. Let's not blame the situations. Let us take responsibility for how we respond to those situations. Make sense? So, situations are very tough. Sometimes situations have great impact on us. But whatever may be the situation, we have a choice to respond to them in a certain way that depends on our own value system, our own maturity. He responded to the situations in his life to assist Duryodhan, knowing that he is adharmic. He responded to the situation in a different way by speaking lies to Parshuram and getting military education by cheating his guru. It's a conscious choice that he has made. Doesn't he know that I'm cheating a Brahmana, I'm cheating my guru? Knowingly he did it. Not just him, many people do it. Ignorance is not the cause of every mistake. even in knowledge also people commit mistakes. Cigarette smoking is injurious to health. Everybody knows it. Every chain smoker knows it. Right? Drinking causes some cancer or whatever. Every drunkard knows it. But still, they are doing it, let them do it. Right?
Like the consent, like he didn't like. I had a story like when he was young, like his father was very good.
Just a second. Anyone else has a question? I don't want to make it like a conversation between both of us. Let others also, if they have questions, let them ask. Yes. Even after becoming successful and attaining our goals, we are not happy. Why? That's a question. Okay. You need to reflect. I have attained that goal, and that goal is not giving me satisfaction, means I have chosen a wrong goal. I am choosing a wrong source of happiness. Right? That's why I said in the beginning, you understand the two purposes of life, self-realization and self-preservation. Okay. Now, for self-preservation, you may have so many intermediate goals or immediate goals. Okay. Some are inevitable, some you have to do it. Not that you are excited to do it, but you have to do it. Right? Some assignments, I have to finish it. It's like a ritual. There you can't get you can't get so much happiness, but you ought to do it, you are doing it. But what actually genuinely gives you satisfaction, you need to reflect. Okay. If attainment of some goal is not giving you satisfaction, that means there is an incompatibility between your nature, your taste, and that goal. That's why I said in that slide, self-awareness slide, I said understand your nature and needs. Identify your nature and needs, okay, before setting your goals. Reflect on your purpose. What exactly is your purpose in pursuing that goal? So if you set a wrong purpose, if you set a wrong goal, how can you expect that it will give you happiness? Right? Makes sense? Does it sound logical? Okay. So first we need to evaluate goals. Some small things are there. We have to do it as a ritual. Let's do it. Let's finish it off. right? We cannot expect so much of happiness from it. But some serious things that you're pursuing, you need to choose them with careful consideration. Consult wise people, consult experienced well-wishers in that field before even setting that goal. Okay. Any other question? Yes. Hmm. So airplane may crash sometimes. How to handle that situation? So we don't have to fly our own airplanes, by the way. Okay, airplane example, like every analogy has its limitations. Okay, but you need to fly high, raise your consciousness high, not alone, in the company of other devotees, in the association of other devotees. When you are together, right? So now this devotee will help you in keeping your consciousness at a high level. So like that, when you practice spiritual life in the company of like-minded spiritual seekers, then naturally you can keep that consciousness high and make it higher and higher. But if you try to do it alone, you may fall. Right? So let's not be alone. Let's have company, right? So there is some strength in Sangha. Okay. Any other question? Yes. Consciousness is a very, very important factor within our system to pursue spiritual life. When you say spirituality and consciousness, spirituality is a path. You want to say something? Okay, fine. So consciousness is a faculty within us. Spirituality is the path that we are pursuing. Now, we have two kinds of bodies. One is the gross body, visible body with eyes, hands, legs, ears, nose, etc. That is one visible body. Behind that visible body is an invisible body, subtle body that has four constituents. You know what are they? Together they are called antahkaranas. One is mind, second intelligence, third is ego, fourth is consciousness. They are called antahkaranas together. Man, buddhi, ahankar, chitta. Man, buddhi, ahankar, MBA. Man, buddhi, ahankar plus chitta. Chitta is consciousness. These are called antahkaranas. So, mind is a faculty within us, invisible, but it's there. How many of you can tell me the shape of mind? Nobody. But do you have minds? What does the mind do? What are the functions of mind? All of you have minds, right? What are the functions of your mind? Thinking, correct? Anything else? Acceptance, rejectance, sankalpa, vikalpa, anything else? Temptations, yeah, are responding to temptations, right? So mind is a storehouse of thoughts, feelings, emotions, desires. That's what mind does. What does intelligence do then? What are the functions of intelligence? Very good. Yes, differentiation. So the discernment or discretion is the function of intelligence. Mind can only store thoughts and emotions, but mind does not know whether they're right or wrong. Intelligence is that faculty that differentiates between what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, what is helpful, what is harmful. Okay. What does ego do? Ego is basically a sense of identity. Actually, this topic is very elaborate, but I'll concise it. Ego is a faculty within us that gives a sense of identity. There is healthy ego, there is unhealthy ego. Okay. So let's not elaborate on more on it. Now, consciousness. Consciousness is also a faculty within us that helps the body to function in a certain way. Actually, consciousness is said to be the symptom of the soul. When soul is not there in the body is unconscious. When the soul is present in the body is conscious. That consciousness is a symptom of life, symptom of soul's presence within the body, right? So with that consciousness, with that mind, with that intelligence, we try to practice spiritual life. Spirituality is a path, right? Is a spiritual path. is a devotional path, and consciousness is a faculty which you engage to pursue that spiritual path. Okay, makes sense. Anything else? Very good question. You can increase your intelligence in two ways. And I told about this 2 times in the class. You know what is that? Associating with wise people who are more intelligent than you, and reading wisdom books from where all intelligence comes. Read Bhagavad Gita and learn from wise people who are more intelligent than you. That's how you increase your intelligence, sharpen your intelligence, right? Now you see, did you ever fly kites? Kites? Sankranti time, some other time. Okay. So when you're flying the kite high, how can you protect the kite from the wind? Kite may bump into some trees, kite may bump into other kites, or kite may be blown away by the wind. How can you protect that kite from the wind and make it fly high in the sky? Huh? By pulling the string, okay? That mind, the kite is like the mind. And what is wind there? All the distractions and allurements and temptations in the world are like that wind. And intelligence is like that string, right? Use the string of your intelligence to control the movements of your mind, kite-like mind, and protect that mind from the distractions and allurements and temptations around. Make sense? Okay. Anything else?
There are many sessions like that.
So, firstly, you can note them down. The tendency is to forget them. If you note them, the key points, 1 hour discussion we had, maybe 10 lines of notes that you can make, 10 points, the key lessons, key takeaways for you. Then regularly revisit them. Try to put them in practice. Okay. And try to discuss them with others. By discussion, your assimilation increases. Many times we think we understood something, but how much we understood, we will understand when we try to make others understand it. Right? So you may think you understand, but when your teacher asks you, come and give a presentation here, then they will understand how much you understood. Then you will also understand how much you understood. Okay. But we don't have a test for all this. So better we take up this project for our own selves, for our self-realization, and try to share these points with others. Don't shy away. अरे ये क्या philosophy बोल रहे हैं? We are young students. We are supposed to pursue our careers. We are supposed to go watch movies. Okay. Why is he speaking so much of philosophy? Don't shy away. That's why you should be convinced whether you are doing right or wrong. When there's conviction, then there is no confusion, right? You can protect yourself from confusions provided you have conviction on what you are doing. So share with others, then you can retain it, then you can make the best out of it. Okay. Now let's do an exercise before we conclude. I think I cannot take more questions for obvious reasons. So you need to tell me the most important key takeaway that you have learned in the last 1 hour. Just maybe 4 or 5 of you can share. Yes. What lesson did you like the most? Raise yourself to a higher level of consciousness. Okay. Next. Okay. Same point. Anything else from this side? This line has been silent always. Yeah. 2 purposes of life: self-realization and self-preservation. Next. Anything else? Yeah. Same thing he said. Anything else? Undesirable outcomes of success. Okay.
Instead of comparing oneself with others, one should try to get to know about oneself.
Correct.
What are the requirements or
Yes. Gratitude.
humility is the measure of success, and that failure which helps us pursue say giving future leads to success is considered a one's failure. And rather we should justify our
Good. Very good. Anything else? This line, huh? Correct. Don't put powder on your face. Take a bath. Okay, good. Anything else? Very good. Okay, shall we conclude here? Yes, sir. What's your agenda? I hope I didn't bore you for 1 hour. If I bored you, please forgive me. But I'm very happy to meet all of you, young students. And I must say, you're a very good participative audience. You're very responsive. If the sound system was good, I would have been little more energetic. This is my sleeping time. Okay, thank you.
So please give a good applause. So on behalf of the students and all of you who have assembled here, I would like to thank His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. You can follow him on his website and all the YouTube lectures he has been giving over the many years, and we'll be inviting him very often. We hope he'll be able to come as much as possible. And he came last year, and he has come this year for an event, and so we took advantage of this opportunity. I thank the coordinators who helped him make this event possible. We have arranged for your dinner. Very soon we'll be serving it for you. Please come and honor it. Thank you very much. So we have programs every Sundays, essentially on the Bhagavad Gita, and on special occasions we invite some guest speakers. The last one was on the January 18th. We had a program in the CLT, and the next is this. And so like this, we will be having such guest lectures and events. So please take part as much as possible. Thank you very much.
Like you said, no, you can ask this also. Like, how many of you want to practice spiritual life?